the as a continuation to what I was saying on that, the bus, which again, a clever person would have just taken a hike, but I think a hike would apply much more than to them. But deixa eu te dar. I want you to gather this vision on that. I'd say very little. Wait a second. Let me explain something. So, when I mentioned they put pit trucks on me, as soon as I passed over the tree over there, it disappeared. I even thought that if I would have to pee indeed or not. So remember I mentioned not necessarily coming from this place? There are twofold that there could be mistaken. First fold is that. The second one is that I was here. I was gonna pee on the other side actually. Um because there's a pole there. And as I was walking to there, I realized that there was this dude inside the property in front. I'm gonna show you. I think it was the same. It was a dude in a black shirt. That one looked more like a fag, like an old guy involved in this. Uh, this one looked like more youngster. But I was crossing from that side, and I saw that with the phone in hand, passing through and entering the gap that the building as goes above. Again, just pointing that from perspective. That as soon as I passed the tree, I didn't have to pee anymore. So it was very restrictive. I even went to the other side, and then I went to that side, and then all of a sudden it disappeared again. I peed the equivalent of a teacup at most. It was seemingly inside there. Maybe it was a different dude. Like he was that walking the field. And that was the reason, because originally I was gonna pee on that side. And then because I saw that, I realized, well, man, the other side, the other pole over there, the one in the back, is the better one because it's in front of nothing, it's far away, sounds sensible to me. And as I was walking back, I see a dude in a black shirt and same shorts, crossing. So that's what I said, it was the same, but I don't know for sure. That dude was the only reason I didn't pee on that side, and the piss truck's the only reason I had to leave the fence here in the first place. Don't know how close he was. If he was too close, you'd be able to see it. That's why I left this on. But even from far away, you have some vision, which means you're seeing what you see in the background. Especially with the symbol there of loading in front. Don't think that, again, nothing that seems perceivable. It's a cheap feed for what it's worth. Yeah. So, but it doesn't matter because we're given the shield, so I just provided that to you for context. And also, as I said, I said something exculpatory there that clearly might not be accurate because passing over there, not saying that it is the opposite is true, like that there is guilty, but I'm saying that the exculpatory thing doesn't apply. I was incorrect. So, yeah, and then crossing and entering the building, which seems to be the same construction as the building itself. Which again, as I said, I don't know anything else or if it did anything. But yeah, I mean, that happening at the same time as someone threw piss drugs on me, I couldn't care less. Otherwise, the only reason I'm mentioning to you is because it happened in this exact time. Right now, I'm even considering if it's related. But as I said, it happened at the same time. Quacks like a duck, looks like a duck. Odds are that it's not a zebra. So, I think horses, not zebras. Yeah, I didn't want to look like they're just a copy pasted, thing. And for proof of the drugs themselves, the piss drugs. That's one of the simplest ways to establish what it is. Because, as I said to you before, those things really only happen at those places. They use that widespread every single night as a way to see if the narcotics are having an effect on me. Because, just to clarify, so this be the point. I'm going to do another one explaining that in more detail. But I'm a formal one. The way that it works is that they listen to the things on this phone presumably all the time. Yeah, as they take a shit and as they sleep and as watch porn. That's what they are. That's what choose to become. Those are the individuals, millions of criminals trying to abuse the one person, by the way. So any point to think that this is voluntary, they want that. And from that, the homeless guy, that guy is the one that they're doing that too. I'm talking about a celebrity or sex appeal icon. You're talking about a homeless dude. Cool. So that means that when they throw narcotics in there, some types of narcotics that cause the piss drugs, they can listen to me. Literally, they can listen to the noises my urine makes or coming out of my penis into the bottle. Again, that's the life they chose to take. Um, and then they report that to other criminals. You see them with children and well off throughout. My eyebrows look weird. Look at me. They look weird to me. Like look sideways, like this. Before at first it was only my eyes, like this eyes. Like this is like missing. So for human rights, the idea that they would have touched my body for some sick perverted thing like removing pieces of my eyebrows, that tells you everything you need to know. So that goes any claim of defense, that goes any claim of that is just a piss and shit for what it is. No, it's not like I show my face every day, so you get to see it. Not only A, I don't have any type of device to do that if that's the case. And B, the that's type of sick perverted stuff. So as I said, that's life. So that's what they choose to do. Don't know what this is. They're gonna be reported in a video. You got to compare that. Don't know if I will. So you got to see it. It's just gonna be more emphasized, so you're more aware of that. And not at any point that slapping the face away from the place I always do. You see how Chip is terrified of children in general, and you know they've been doing something sick like these. These people would pick up a small child and take that with them to do it, as they do, because that's what they are. Again, also take notice of things that I don't verbally mention, but you get to see. Mind that. So, at the end, there's no wonder you see my face. You see me explaining things to you, and you see the details, right? And that's a war crime that they're being accused of, right? Just, have fire everyone in the time when they really need. Mind what you see. Um, as I said, I'm gonna explain those things in more detail later. I can tell you something so relevant that is bothering me. Should be looking at that. On top of that, the what else? The I'm gonna say that in a minute. On top of that, the what I talked to you before. Um, what was it? Yeah, it was good. So I talked to you before as for the the drugs that they from me, the piss drugs, is self-evident. Oh yeah, the nights. Okay, so cool. And then at night they through that to know if it's having an effect on me, because otherwise they wouldn't know if perhaps I'm organizing things or doing other things just quiet, right? But there's no guarantee. It's just a guarantee that I take a piss or not taking a piss, I suppose. I don't know if that doesn't work when I'm asleep. Supposed to take a point as well. Notice how I kept noticing that as soon as I get up is when I feel those things. But if I'm flat horizontal, I don't. Or not horizontal, I sleep. Because sometimes I have to get up to pee. So mind that. I was starting to notice that too. And as I said, all those things are obvious. I'm quite sure you get most of what I said day one. But I can guarantee you that there's a lot of piss and shit they're only now realizing what's will come of them, or what's left of their reputation, or whatever they think they'll have. Plus the more importantly, how explicit it is for those things to see. Because I said it's not 1 or 2 days, it's every single night. And the fact that those usually here, the fact right now we see my nose itching, there's some fuzz happening upwind from me, not just one. And all of those, the oh no, wait fine. Apparently, those supposed to be normally two delivery vehicles in the two houses immediately upwind from me, happening at the same time. From guys that clearly don't know each other, because one just said to the other, I should doing this, you're kind of too old for this, or something like that. Which means that they're not from the same place, because if you see the guy every day, you're not going to say that to him, right? So out of sheer coincidence, arriving in the same place at the same time, with completely unmarked vehicles from random situations. Again, in the two houses, they immediately upwind from me. And only they can see that, nobody else can. It's only me, right? So, I noticed if the guy had actually not said anything, it'd be the most logical thing to just assume, hey, look, they're from the same place, they are doing in convoy, like one after the other, Clearly, you couldn't put two packages in the same vehicle because that would be just too much fuel saving. You cannot have that. You should take care of the petrol companies. You should make them buck you. And then, who would be the oil companies if you don't take care of them? So, at the end of the day, the proof is because it was just talking to this rather random dude, you chose for this two doing this, meaning clearly not work in the same place. Those entirely separate vehicles from entirely separate places arriving in exactly the same place. The two houses, the one and the two, immediately upwind from me. After I mentioned the different drugs on me, and after all of that, after this really dude passed down with the phone close to my face as I'm in here, as I'm reporting things, and relatively close to leaving, I suppose. Let me check on the. That was kind of what I was saying. Should have checked that close by. But as I said, I'm not passing them in past noon. I guess close to noon we'll go. This means up. Okay. Um, the stranger have just left. After that, no, I can testify. Those packages did not travel back in time. Um, and I did not say that I was about to leave because of anything to do with that. I said that for a while before as well. But it's mostly because of the gaslighting and me feeling small. And I imagine some type of self protection for. I talk of victim abuse. Well, best guess. Again, I never did. Don't interact much. Don't even see much on YouTube or anything like that. But it's just a hunch that they'll probably behave kind of the same way. Because what I felt was feeling small and feeling almost fear, even though I couldn't properly conceive. And just make me feel more comfortable. Make uncomfortable. It's actually fear, but most people probably call it uncomfortable. Make me feel more comfortable to just say. Because it feels like maybe feel crimes to me. Not drugs. They're gonna throw drugs either way. Talking about other crimes, which is actually pretty bad. But my idea is that I wouldn't want to attract too much attention. Especially because, again, I'm just thinking about leaving. I'm not standing here, standing the entire time, all the time. I'm just wrapping this up. And the issue is, and so that's my point. So what you have to understand is, because I mentioned those things, which is a reaction to the brutality and cruelty before, you get to see now being broadcasted how ridiculous this is. Because essentially they just established that for free. No reasonable person, I presume, that package is going to be delivered by separate companies in unmarked vehicles at the exact same time, two places ahead of me. And even if they would, I don't think you're going to give a shit. Again, for individuals who so long have relied on masturbators, they seem to, by a long shot, fail to understand how much the direction the thigh swings makes a difference. Which is funny because they have relied on exactly the same thing for the longest time. But imagine they would have got the hint that they're not the only ones who can do that. But at the end of the day, except that they did that to an innocent person and not a child at this point are gonna look at them and believe that they're innocent. So, the most innocent child in the world, you're gonna look what they do and say, yeah, maybe they're innocent. So, even if you were to do what they do, which I hope you don't, because we're not the same, and we don't do what they do. But um, if even if you would, you shouldn't be the same because they did that to someone that is innocent. Wow, you can clearly see what they did. And I'm the best buffer person in the world, but sure as hell, I didn't do the things they did. Of that, it should be only fair that they receive what they gave. It's not the same thing as the rest, right? Really strongly believing in just leaving this in the air. In this one I will. I want them to. But then that's the thing, because I know that they would just pinch this one and use it, and then a bit later on, actually good people may be convinced incorrectly. So that's why the chance of catching them in things like that, which is unnecessary. I actually believe that one of those days at night, some criminal mounted on top of me to remove pieces of hair from my eye because he think that will pass up as a good joke to other criminals. Because that's looking very weird to me, and it wouldn't be looking very weird to me if it wasn't different. You can compare that from one day to another. It didn't fall off, so and that plus the cheapest drugs that they started throwing at me, the narcotics that they throw at me every day. That's a mixture of day with time. I was gonna say every time, then I realized every time. What it means every time? Every time one, and switch the day. Just why it sounded weird. They also involving the tiny children into the war crime, mind you. And so I really wanted to just leave that open in the air, but I think that they would also try to use the reactions that they created on me, on the narcotics, the same ones that they use here, the same ones that they're using now, when they use them back home. So I would have arguments with Tanya, even though they use those same drugs on Tanya in here in this city, in Foz do Iguaçu. As well as in Buenos Aires, as well as the same atrocity they do to me, to her in here. So as I said to you, I really didn't want to mention this here because it's much more strategic to let them say all the vomit comes out until you can get to just dismantle that all based on that coach and their own actions. But then, and Tony's as well, by the way, because again, she was drugged, but they are not, and she's consensual on that. And for what it's worth, the entire time, for what I noticed, um, I was only aware of anything related to this crime by 2022 when they showed themselves to me. I have no clue from before, and they all know that. They all know that. Not one criminal about this doesn't know about how much aware I was of which crime. So my simplest point, my simple idea is, this is what they do. So again, really would like to, but for the guarantee that then no good people could be misled into believing this, I can just give the whole thing straight. As I said, and there's so much more for most of the things. As I said, it's actually very convenient that they would say those things because, as I said, they don't believe that. As I said before, we establish what they know when the criminals don't know. And once that's established, and you can tell other people that actually want them to come up with those lies and those figures, it's essentially like having this guy who just raped someone, and then he's saying that this person's accused me falsely of doing this, this, and that, and like, but he knows, right? And that makes all the difference in the world because he knows what he did, he knows what he didn't. And that's what I said, that the drugs that they throw in here on me, in me, that they're gonna say that they didn't believe that someone else would have thrown in this one house over there. The drugs that they throw in me and in Tanya, in here, in the hotels and in other places, they're gonna say that they didn't believe that someone else did that elsewhere. They just didn't believe, honestly, honest to heart. So cool. Say that to other people. That's gonna turn out beautiful in the end. That's my point. So I kind of get to see. The only reason I'm saying that here is because the I'll actually listen to the background. We have time. Should upload, right? Most important, the bus only passes 12:30 something, if I remember right. You're saying, are you taking the bus? I was thinking of going back, but there's. I don't know, it's coming from the same direction, so I don't know how that's supposed to be. Anyway. We're going that way the way because I have to buy the chips. It's bothering me quite a lot. Trying to see if I can have, because cut hair is usually very easy, but it would make a difference because if removed from here, they would have pulled one by one, which is the most sick thing that you can easy to demonstrate. It's not even the type of thing they would just shave someone's head, right? It's the type of thing that would literally just remove one by one, meticulous time. Let's say like this, exactly like they did here. See that the thing is actually one by one. They kept undoing the knots as I was asleep. Except that this thing, for what it's worth, even though they, again, right next to my groin, imaging it there, and again, they show this to small children as tall as this, so you understand what we're dealing, what kind of human being we're dealing with here. And the thing is, and so in order they have a solution for that, just as an extra layer to a type of human being dealing with here. That escape plan is to just blame the victim. Cool. Continuing, did they drug every night? So this is the thing you see the individuals cheering in the mall because they think they're happy because they think it's so unbelievable they won't be able to see it. It's not like the person that would do that. As I said, maybe they'll fool you. So it's always a possibility. Maybe not. If not, you got all the faces too that you can inquire individually about every single sort of detail that you want. I would pick the ones with children. They're the ones that it's easy to showcase to other people how sick they are, and perhaps they shouldn't be raising other people, but it comes in its own way. But again, I'm sure that they took all that in consideration. After all, when was the last time that they managed to gloriously fail to take something in consideration, and that's why you guarantee to know who they are? That will never happen. Now they're pissing the shit. Sick and tired of this place, particular. But not sick enough that I wouldn't want those things uploaded already, I think. It's already useful. For sure. Because they can be uploaded in the mall. Is the thing. Yeah, things you know today, they have to be done today. That's not one of them. So that should be very important, actually.